Meanwhile, Angola has announced it will cease its mediation efforts in the ongoing conflict between the M23 rebels, the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda, citing failed negotiations and external interference. The decision was made public by Angola's president on Monday, March the 24th. Angola had been facilitating talks with the goal of direct negotiations between the DRC government and the M23 rebels. But the first round of talks in Rwanda on March 18 was abruptly called off due to external factors. Despite the challenges, Angola had aimed to prioritize broader continental issues, including peace, economic development, and justice. The situation remains volatile, with the M23 rebels intensifying their control over key towns in North and South Kivu, worsening the humanitarian crisis. Though recent signs of de-escalation have emerged, including the M23's pledge to withdraw from Walikale, the peace process is left uncertain after Angola's withdrawal from mediation. A senior coordinator, African Student for Liberty, Charles and Yakubo, joins me live on the news this hour to talk about the situation there. It's good to have you join us. After nearly 2 months of serving as the AU chair, Angola in a statement says it is ending its mediation role in the DRC and Rwanda. It read in that statement that Angola recognized the need to shift focus on broader continental priorities. How would you interpret that?
Thank you for having me. The situation in the DRC is quite complex, and that is just one of the gestures to show the world that it needs serious intervention, because Angola has been playing very critical role in the mediation between the DRC and the M23. So their withdrawal is a very serious gesture to the world that there is more effort needed to really support, or rather bring peace back to the DRC as we speak at the moment.
And it was obviously an important meeting, getting both parties in one place in Qatar. But would you consider this a breakthrough, with Angola withdrawing at this point and also the M23 rebels continuing their march in the town?
Well, it offered alternative diplomatic effort, which is much needed, as much as it's kind of I can say an oxygen to the current situation that we have, but it is not enough, because African problems need African solution. Although we saw the de-escalation, but that has not really been fully materialized, because we were expecting by now there should have been maybe talks or dialogue between the two parties. So it has just shown that there are other methods that can be used anyway to bring normalcy to the area. But again, then it has to go beyond just cessation of one of the areas to bringing the two parties, the two rebels, that is the DRC Congo and the M23 rebels, together, so that at least we can have the conflict resolved. We are happy that with the withdrawal of Angola, the East African Regional Bloc and also the SADC, they sat yesterday and have appointed a team to go and assist in the mediation, which again is another good effort to show that there is a lot of focus in terms of bringing peace to the area. But more of such interventions are needed, because at the end of the day, we just need to see that there is peace back in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
And when you say that African problems should get African solutions, we've seen the President of the United States, Donald Trump, saying he is interested in the DRC. Would you say this is good news or bad news for that nation?
It depends. It boils back to the interest. We do not have a free lunch in this world. So with the United States or any organ saying that they want to support, that we must also interrogate, what do they need in return? Is it a genuine support? Because you'll remember that the DRC conflict issue, also one of the major catalyst is the foreign interest, the minerals and the gold that is in that area. So it has to be looked in a very careful way. I would be happy to see that the African Union, the SADC, the East African Regional Bloc, and even ECOWAS are being at the forefront, then of course, if there's need for support, which will be very clear, that's now when the foreign maybe intervention will be needed. But singular intervention from any area outside Africa, I doubt that will also still be repelled by the team. We're also aware that the sanctions on Rwanda even exacerbated the situation even further. So we just need to figure out how then this political economic situation can be resolved within Africa with our resources that we have. And we had seen it before. The AMISOM is doing very well in the Somali restoring peace, and also even before we had the Nairobi process, which was led by the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, also had a lot of positive impact. So we need to go back to those and just see how then can we bring this to an end and come up with our own homegrown solutions.
So let's look at the solution here. The DRC is blaming Rwanda for the M23 rebels takeover. Rwanda is also blaming the DRC for the FDLR. None of these parties seem like they are willing to compromise despite negotiations in the past, although there are hopes for this particular negotiation. But would you suggest a military response at this time?
A military solution is very unlikely to bring a lasting peace in the DRC. And I think it has been tried before and it failed terribly. The presence of multiple armed groups, the foreign interest, and of course, the complex ethnic dimension, which can be rooted back to even, as way back as during colonization, really makes it so difficult for the military intervention to really be a solution. And I think it can even exacerbate the situation further. I think diplomatic engagements, political negotiations, and addressing the root causes of this conflict, such as governance issues, economic grievances, and regional tensions, are very essential for a sustainable resolution, not military intervention.
Senior Coordinator, African Student for Liberty, Charles Yakubo, thank you for talking to us at this time.
Thank you for having me.